Welcome to Will It Build, the series where I take your builds from my YouTube comments and Discord server and put them to the test to see if they are the real deal. If it's solid, then I'll gift you 1,000 silver, and if it's really something special, you'll be featured in a dedicated build video for your submitted build. So comment yours below so we can answer the question, will it build? Will it build? I am super excited for this episode because we are using a weapon that I have literally never used in Destiny ever, and that apparently a lot of other people haven't used in Destiny, because I just assumed, like everyone else assumed, that it's not very good.
You're just like me. Trash!
But apparently, what I'm told is that this weapon is surprisingly pretty strong. So we're going to take a look at the Threadling army build submitted by Orient to see if that is in fact the case. They say, do you want to stand back in Onslaught and watch your army destroy and unravel all of the enemies for you with tangles for days? I thought you might. That sounds like an intro I might write. That was very well done. In addition to super satisfying ad clear, this build allows you to do some decent DPS to tanky targets and to dunk the sparks while playing Warlock. We're rocking and rolling with Needle Storm, Strand Warlock with Swarmers, Threadling Grenade, and Healing Rift. As for aspects, they have us rocking and rolling with Weaver's Call, which makes us then we cast our class ability, we generate 3 Threadlings to go and attack targets, and then Weave Walk for the survivability aspect of this build. We can go ahead and activate our air move button while airborne to go ahead and basically enter invisibility. PvE enemies literally don't even track you, and you get ridiculous damage resistance, and you start to just kind of randomly spawn Threadlings around your body to be deployed as you come out. So really solid. As far as the fragments go, they're setting us up with the Thread of Evolution so that Threadlings travel further and deal additional damage, which is a no-brainer when it comes to a Threadling-based build. We've also got us with the Thread of Rebirth, where Strand Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create a Threadling. Makes perfect sense if we're going to be using the Final Warning. And the Thread of Finality, where Finisher Final Blows create Threadlings. They do, however, specify that this one can be switched. I have a theory that there's going to be a different fragment that I like when we test this out, but we're going to give Finality a try to start out, and then I'll let y'all know if I end up wanting to go ahead and try out my other fragment and go ahead and solidify that change. As far as weapon recommendations go, they say Final Warning and Bold, so we are going to be rocking and rolling with that. They do, however, say Quicksilver and Wishkeeper could work depending on your playstyle. Final Warning hits like a truck, they say, especially since Quicksilver was recently nerfed. Now, Final Warning, for those who don't know, I actually have no idea how the weapon functions. I don't know what it does. So, while holding down the trigger, enemies are marked over 0.5 seconds for 2 seconds and gradually charges up a 10-round burst over 0.9 seconds. A fully charged burst hit applies Unravel to marked enemies. So while you're hip firing the weapon, you shoot slower moving tracking rounds, which aggressively seek marked enemies, which are enemies that they get marked when you're holding down the trigger, and marked enemies receive 20% bonus body shot damage. While you're ADS, you shoot hit scan projectiles, and marked enemies receive 100% increased precision damage. So as far as I can tell, it seems like the way that we're going to want to use this weapon is to hold down the trigger to mark enemies, and then maybe ADS and beam them in the head, because when they're marked, we deal double damage as headshots. That's kind of what I'm getting at right now, but we'll kind of figure it out as we go. As far as our other weapons, they say we can go Dealer's Choice. They like a solar weapon to proc Radiant from all the artifact mods. I personally would rather go with a disorienting grenade launcher. They did say Dealer's Choice, and I don't really love the idea of using a solar weapon to proc Radiant through the artifact mods when I already have a primary weapon in my Final Warning. I don't really want to go double primary, so I'd rather give a go with the Empty Vessel Disorienting Grenades grenade launcher. Bonus points if you have auto loading, because you can just shoot it and then put it in your pocket. It's got Taken spec on it though. Probably don't want that. Let's go ahead and switch it to boss spec just to be safe. And then as far as the heavy weapon, they say Dealer's Choice again, but they like Semiotician. And I actually agree with the Semiotician, because if you come down here, you can see that they're recommending double surge mods. And so if we're going with double strand weapon surge, it means that if we rock it with a strand rocket with like Semiotician, which I recommend this crafted roll, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of this right now, means that both our Semiotician, which is strand, and our Final Warning will gain the 17% DPS bonus benefit from when we are armor charged due to our strand weapon surges. Speaking of mods, they have us set up with a Harmonic Siphon, Dynamo, and Ashes to Assets for the super energy from class ability cast and grenade final blows. They've got us set up with Firepower for Orb of Power generation on grenade final blows. Reminder, that's our Threadling grenade, and yes, the Threadlings from the Threadling grenade count as grenade damage. Also got a sub with momentum transfer and bolstering detonation for increased ability regen. Whatever resistances you want. Double strand weapon surge along with a recuperation. However, I think I'm going to change this to something else as we get into the build. We'll see. I'll let you know as we go ahead and get through it. As far as the class item goes, they are recommending Bomber, Outreach, and Reaper or Time Dilation. I personally am a big Reaper fan, so I'm going to rock and roll with that. Only final thing is, if you like the way my Guardian looks, this shader, like I've mentioned in previous videos, is a shader called Watcher Shade, which you can only obtain by gifting 2 subs to a live Destiny 2 Twitch stream, like twitch.tv/Mactics, my stream where we film all of these live, linked in the description. Would love to have you stop by, check out one of these live, rock and roll with us, maybe you can get the shader if you so please. All right, to answer the question, will it be... This gun looks very, very tiny. It is comically small in the hands.
What did he say?
Okay, so we can charge it up. Fully charged as 10 rounds, and that'll unravel the enemy. And then we can hip fire, and it does the tracking rounds, or we can ADS, and it does the hit scan rounds. And then we got our little tangle right there. Throw it at that guy. Cool. So far, so good, I think. I think it's working. I will say the ADS feels really weird, and the reticle on my screen looks really weird as well. Oh, one thing of note as well, by the way, in terms of seasonal artifact mods, I do highly recommend Horde Shuttle and Unraveling Orbs. These are generally exceptionally good mods anytime that you're rocking and rolling with the Strand build. Picking up an Orb of Power grants Strand weapons Unraveling rounds, and damaging Unraveling targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a Threadling. Can't go wrong with either of those. Definitely make sure you rock and roll with those 2 armor mods. I'm also now just now realizing the Swarmer's exotic boots, I never mentioned what they do. They're rather simple, though, in nature. Destroying a tangle spawns a Threadling, and your Threadlings unravel targets that they damage. Nice and easy. Okay, so let's get our charged burst, which it looks like the charge burst I actually do kind of have to aim. It kind of feels like it works like Devil's Ruin, if that makes sense. This is where I'm liking the disorienting grenade launcher. This is kind of weird because recently we've had a lot of changes in Destiny with like fully automatic fire, but you cannot do that with this gun because holding down the trigger, which would typically fully automatically fire your typical weapon, just does the charged burst. Okay, so we got a Shrieker. Oh, oops. Okay, this is probably a good time for the Semiotician. Whoa. Let's get this out. Generate some Threadlings as well. Get some more Semiotician action. I really just don't like these Shriekers. These, by the way, if you're running Legend Onslaught and you get the mini-boss Saboteur Shriekers, and they mess you up, don't feel bad. That's, like, one of the hardest enemies to have. So just throwing that out there. Okay, Heavy Brick. Get 4 rockets with that Heavy Brick, which is not bad at all. One of the mods I was thinking about switching to when we started out with this video... Ooh, that kind of chunked him, by the way. But one of the mods I was heavily considering switching to was I was considering swapping out the recuperation on my boots for maybe a harmonic scavenger right here, which costs 1 energy, so that I get significantly more rockets when I pick up rockets. But if I'm already getting 4 rockets from every pickup, maybe that's not the end of the world. I'm curious how this does against the Tormentor if I do the charge burst. And now he's marked, so theoretically, I should do 100% bonus damage. Or I wonder if it's only the charged bullets. Okay, so I think it's primarily just the charged bullets that do the 100% bonus damage. But, that could have shredded him, no? Or am I crazy? I could be crazy, you know, like, that's not outside of the range of possibilities, but I feel like I kind of shredded that guy. What's nice, too, is that if you don't feel like aiming with this weapon, I feel like you can just kind of spam hipfire and it's not a big deal, right? How long can I hold the charge? Like, will it... Okay, so it looks like once the gun is fully charged, you have, like, I don't know, I'd say, like, maybe half a second before it just automatically fires. Okay, let's get a Threadling grenade going. And I just don't really feel like aiming right now, so I'm gonna charge it up and try Charge it up again. Okay. Pick up the tangle. That'll give me threadlings. There's a bunch of unraveling stuff going all over the place. Charge it up again. Charge it up again. Okay, that's kind of fun. And I think I know the build said that you can play back, but I kind of like playing a little more forward, to be honest, because with a sidearm, I think it just benefits being more close range. And the thing is, I'm not really in danger if I do play far up, because I've got weave walk, so if I'm in a position where it's like, ooh, this is a little spooky, I just pop weave walk, and then I'm like borderline invincible. Ooh, come on, come on. Ooh, that's satisfying. Okay, I nuked the Saboteur. Granted, he was tethered, so don't get me wrong. Definitely gonna take some extra damage there, but... God. Okay, so right here, I'm in trouble. Hit the weave walk. Get into a more favorable position. And then while I'm in the weave walk and roaming around, I just kind of passively spawn threadlings. And, yeah. This is not bad at all. I got an unstoppable ogre. I'm not really worried about him because, once again, like I said, just kind of hit the weave walk, and I'm out of here. Wait a minute. Can I use weave walk while I'm running the spark? Hold on. Whoop. Sorry, fellas. See ya. And I'm out. That's awesome. I love the fully charged burst unraveling the targets as well. I think that's not as big of a deal in this season. However, I think that's going to play a significantly more impactful role in next season when we don't have the unraveling rounds seasonal mod. Because right now we have unraveling rounds as seasonal mod, which means we kind of have unraveling up more often than we maybe typically would in most seasons. But even when unraveling rounds goes away, that doesn't really matter for final warning because you can just fully charge the gun and then you have unraveling anyway. Okay, so the damage hip fire is not crazy. So it's kind of what I'm noticing is like you can either hip fire for guaranteed effortless hits at the cost of less damage, or aim down sights for non-guaranteed, harder to land precision hits that do ridiculous damage. Those are kind of your options here. Because as you can see, when I'm fully charging, it kind of nukes them. Okay, I kind of want to try something here. I want to go this into a weave walk, generate 5 threadlings, and then I want to rift to release all 5 of those threadlings, plus another 3 because of Weaver's Call, and then I can nuke my Needle Storm, and then I can do my charge up final warning shots. And theoretically, if I get myself into a precarious position, I can just weave walk back out. Okay. Throw that grenade. Rift. Okay, we're gonna charge. Oh god. Okay, break that tangle. And I'm just kind of, I'm trying to bob back and forth, so that's why I'm just doing the hip fire, because I get my tracking shots. I feel like the tracking on just the regular hip fire shots is not anything to write home about, but the tracking on the charged is pretty solid. I'm definitely not using my disorienting GL enough, though. But that's because I don't want to pull it out, because I want to keep using final warning, because it's actually fun. I'm not even kidding, by the way. This is the first time I've ever used this weapon in my entire life. Get him. That was just, okay. That was 4 bullets, by the way. All that damage right there. That was 4 bullets. And I'm pretty sure I missed one of them. Look at all the unravel. Both of my teammates, by the way, are tether hunters. So any green stuff you see on the screen is coming exclusively from my build. Any threadlings, any unravel, any tangles, any of that is exclusively this build. So, y'all have probably noticed so far that I have not used a finisher on a single enemy up until this point. And listen, if you're someone that does a ton of finishers, then maybe it does make sense to go ahead and continue rock and roll with the thread of finality. Me personally, though, I don't do a lot of finishers. So because of that, I just think the thread of finality doesn't fit for me too well in this build. Like they said, you could switch it if you want. For me personally, I would much rather go the thread of generation. I just think it's like the best strand fragment. It's going to give us more threadlink grenade action. I'm going to give that a go because I'm based how my playstyle is, I'm getting nothing out of the thread of finality. So I'm going to make that switch. We're going to see how it feels. Try and do a crouch right before I start my reload because I do have field prep on this rocket. And I think I want to get a full burst of final warning on him real quick. Not necessarily for the damage, but because remember, the full burst from final warning unravel the target. And so if I can stick unraveling at the target, it'll just be a little bit of extra damage and it'll further be procced whenever anyone hits him. And in the context of these seasonal mods, Horde Shuttle makes it so we're going to produce threadlings when we hit an unraveled target. Even without the seasonal mods, though, I think it's just generally probably a good thing to always keep a target unraveled if you can. The boss kind of got melted there, I'm not going to lie. Well, is about to. There we go. Ta-da. Okay, right now we're kind of in our recovery rounds, is what I'm going to call these. So I'm just going to try to nuke everything. Oh my god. The unravel is so crazy. And I have significantly more grenade uptime now just because of that thread of generation. And right now I'm just trying to get those batteries and refuel our ADU. Hit that tangle right there, do a ton of oh my god! It's so satisfying. Okay, on to, so we have 47, 48, 49, then boss wave. So we're close. ADU's at about 80% HP. Maybe a tiny bit less. Let me get that tangle right there. Don't mind if I do. Woo! Yeah, once you get a tangle going, ooh, it's nice. Let me hop in here. Oh, yep, okay. Pro tip for Onslaught, don't jump into the middle of a bunch of exploding enemies. Okay, so this is the guy that's usually going to come to us. Okay, we're going to do that. Then with one of these. Oh, never mind, he's just the best. Yeah, this boss I think is pretty easy because he'll just always eventually walk up into you. Ooh, the Spark Hoarder came in here. Which is actually really nice because as we've seen for the entire run, I can do some sneaky stuff. Ooh, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't think I can collect it while I'm in Weave Walk. No, I cannot. So I gotta come out of Weave Walk, collect it, and then I can make my way back, which it looks like the enemy's moved. I got my disorienting GL. Don't really need to Weave Walk on my way back, but boom. Yeah. Uh-oh. Never mind. Final warning! Nope. I want to finish him with the final warning. Wait, maybe I still can. Let's go! I mean, obviously, you know what I'm going to say. If it can smash a Wave 50 Legend Onslaught, then yes, it indeed will build. Final conclusion. Okay, not bad. I wouldn't say that like I blew either of my teammates out of the water or anything of that nature, but like, hey, 760 kills. That's not shabby at all. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. They definitely carried in the orbs of power department, and I carried a little bit more in the damage and final blows department. So what we ended up with, like I said, we kind of switched the subclass just a tiny bit. I'm not a big like finisher guy unless I'm playing Void Echo of Obscurity. So we went ahead and swapped the finality fragment, thread of finality, for thread of generation, so we can have more uptime on our threadling grenade. Like I said, I think you could honestly go either way. I went with a harmonic scavenger to feed more into my semiotician. I felt that recuperation wasn't as necessary because I feel like you just have plenty of survivability with Weave Walk. You can get out of any sticky situation. You don't really need the heal on orb pickup. So will it build? Absolutely yes. Absolutely fantastic. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see future Will It Build episodes, like this video if you enjoyed it, and if you want one of your builds reviewed in a video like this, be sure to leave it in my Discord server, linked in the description below or down below in the YouTube comments. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.